everyone, this is Ina with Innichka Chef. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm actually not going to cook. Today I'm going to talk. For many of you who are watching me for many years, I would say, you probably notice I'm a big fan of fermented food. I'm addicted to fermented food, and I have to say, once you start eating, you will never stop. Fermented food is something what in my culture, it's something what I grew up with, and I'm planning so many more videos to show in the future from my culture. Not only, I like to experiment everything from around the world, different ferments, and show how different culture on different parts of the planet using some sort of fermented drink or food or something. We've always been a big part of eating without preservation such as refrigerator. Our ancestors somehow survived on a bad bacteria, which people worry about bacteria so much in these days, without dying, and somehow we made it, and it's all through preservation with salt. Simple technique, dry or wet fermentation, and that's how we made and curing meat and fish and nuts and I just name it. Pretty much anything you can, grains and beans you can ferment. And my love special belongs to kefir. Kefir is something what I do for, I don't know, regularly for so many years. And I have to say, prior to that, I used to buy kefir until 2017, and I never really felt much benefit. I didn't really understand why do I need to drink. I drink and I still have blood, and I didn't feel anything different than store-bought yogurt until I started making my own. And I have to say, on my website I have testimony of people who truly heal through kefir. Kefir is a magic drink, and I have video I will link below how to make and why I make and how we drink every time. We have Nanny who comes to our house and said, "What should kids drink, that white stuff?" It's a kefir. Kefir, we always drink kefir. My kids drink kefir before bed, and it's not only helps them with immunity, which is they're not getting sick, and we don't have sick days when my kids don't go to school. We just don't have that. We have runny nose, that's the most, but fever or flu or this and that we don't have. Another thing cool about fermented food and drinking kefir, one glass before bed, keep your dentist away. So yes, brushing teeth is important, I agree, but you can't fix with toothbrush your biofilm in your mouth. And if you don't have healthy mouth, you don't have microbiome healthy in your stomach, in your gut, and you're not going to be healthy, and you're not going to be survive through all the viruses. You know how many times kids getting sick and mine don't. My 10.5 years old son never had cavity. He just never had cavity. And my youngest son, he fell down in the winter and broke his head. So we went to emergency. We have to put stitches, and doctor said, "You will feel numb just like in dentist office," and we put some stitches, and it's not a big deal. You will love it, and you will not feel anything. You're not afraid, right? Have you ever had numb? And Johnny said, "No." Have you went to dentist? And Johnny said, "No." And doctor said, "You must be brush your teeth well. You don't have cavity, right?" And he said, "No." He forgetting brush his teeth actually quite a bit often. And I'm not staying on top of it. I try, but with all my business and craziness, especially lately in my life, I don't have time. But what I do make sure they always drink kefir before bed, every day, and it's hardly ever exception. Occasionally, if we travel, if we go somewhere, somebody's house, but for the most part, and they have healthy mouth. So that's how help, and that's how my kids never drink milk, basically. They only drink kefir. Another my favorite, I'm from Ukraine, so sauerkraut. Sauerkraut, how I can live without sauerkraut. I remember in 2017 when I was diagnosed with SIBO due to having leaking gut. I didn't know how to heal myself, and I was put myself by doctor for food map diet. If any of you who watching me, I'm sure many of you, I'm pretty sure, have some kind of digestive issue, IBS or SIBO for sure. So I was put on that diet prominently. Back in days, I didn't know. I thought it's a temporary fix. They're going to fix me and I'll be good, good to go. But after 1 month to eating terrible food, I couldn't cook because I couldn't use garlic, couldn't use onion, I couldn't use this and that. I mean, the food was so bad, and doctor said, do you feel bad? I said, not really, because I don't enjoy any of my meals, so emotionally I don't feel better. Maybe my digestion slightly better, but I don't feel better overall. I love to cook. And why I'm saying that, I was not able to eat sauerkraut because cabbage, that's one of big no when you're on food map diet. And sauerkraut is something absolutely I love, and honestly I couldn't eat. Every time I ate, I was bloated, I feel terrible, I didn't know how to handle. I was bad. I was at point to start like in ICU, so I start with baby steps. A little bit, I start eating fermented food here and there. I started with kombucha, that's number one. Drink what I start drink daily, especially afternoon. It has enzyme, help digest food, has vitamins, has minerals. It's not plain water. I know when I drink kombucha, my workout performance much better if I drink just plain water. So that said, kombucha, especially second fermentation, is delicious. It's fuzzy. And I have a recipe how I make. And also, if you like have in the summer some little spirits drink, that's good too. I have a recipe for that too. For the pool party, would be perfect with some juice and some ice, and make some very colorful, tasty with some coconut rum drinks. So kombucha might go for drink. My kids drinking. Yes, kombucha may be some of you afraid to drink due to the alcohol. Yes, has very small amount of alcohol, but it's not a big deal. I never noticed any problem with that. And we drinking. My children drink. I dilute with water, of course, but we drink so much kombucha, kefir. Another thing what I'm making on a regular basis, and if you notice on many of my recipes, I'm saying crème fraîche. It's basically fermented cream, and it can substitute for sour cream, can substitute for cooking for cream, because when you cook sour cream will curdle, cannot tolerate the heat. Crème fraîche can. So it's creamy and it's full of fat, and it's like, yeah, it's like full fat yogurt. It's a cream, fermented cream. Sometimes I dilute with half and half, so it's not that thick. Otherwise, it's extremely thick, almost like a butter. We like to put even on a bread, and I think a couple of recipes last year or year before in the summer, my boys make sandwiches, even video, when they put on a bread and then put some figs and then honey, and it's delicious. Yes, most Americans using cream cheese, we're using crème fraîche. That's easy way to add your probiotic, good probiotic to your system. Another thing what I always make is kimchi. Kimchi, I like to make kimchi sandwich with avocado, and it's delicious. It's vegan for people who plant-based diet. It's perfect. I have recipe as well on my website. It's during pregnancy with Matrona. I went to one coffee shop, fell in love with that sandwich, and from that moment, she's 3.5. I still make that sandwich for breakfast once in a while. I love it. Can add little egg. Of course, I need more protein in these days. So I love kimchi, and kimchi to supplement to the diet for people who don't like my husband. I always try to add a little bit to the meat dumplings, to the fried rice, to the many things I can add without even big notice. From stir fries, so many ways. If you don't make kimchi, you can buy, it's not as good. And miso is something that I'm buying, fermented soybean, and it gives enormous amount of umami flavor. Again, it's fermented, so everything with what is cool about fermented food, it's preserved, not only it's preserved vegetables wherever you ferment and stays those vegetables for 9+ months in the fridge. Either it's cabbage in sauerkraut, either it's salsa, so a bunch of different vegetables, or really anything you can ferment, it will last forever. I have a fridge outside that only ferments, I keep them. But another cool thing, you can add 1 teaspoon of any of your ferments, either it's sauerkraut juice or miso, and the food you made will stay in your fridge instead of 3 days, 10 days fresh. So it's increased shelf life. You know, homemade hummus doesn't stay too long in your fridge, right? You have to eat up fast. But instead of lemon juice, add one tablespoon of sauerkraut juice. That change, and your hummus will last in the fridge more than 1 week for sure. The same with when I make homemade mayo. Instead of lemon juice, use sauerkraut juice. One more ferments. I fermented collard greens and cauliflower together. It's kind of different, it's crunchy. So to cauliflower, of course, we just eat, it's crunchy. It's basically pickled cauliflower. But collard greens, nice and green. What I like to do, I like to add to sandwiches. Either it's BLT or hamburger. It gives that vinegar pickling flavor. You know, like pickled onions, which I do too. With a little bit of that juice you add to red onion, and half hour you have pickled onion, right? But instead of vinegar, add something fermented, and or ferment onion itself, or garlic. I actually have great recipe how to ferment garlic, and I just finished whole jar that I fermented half a year ago, and I used every time I make dressing. 1 clove of garlic I add, and puree with everything else, and it's instant. 30 seconds I make in a Ninja in a blender, and that's beautiful vinaigrette. It's all you need: mustard, garlic, and olive oil and lemon juice. Basically, that's all you need, and it's perfect. Or vinegar. So this juice, fermented juice, I use like a vinaigrette for anything. Either I'm going to pickle something, or use this collard greens for the sandwich, for even hamburger, for anything what I'm laying. It gives little nice bite. Another flavor, laying of flavor for delicious, especially when food very rich. This cuts the fat and gives more, it's just more tasty. In the summer here, I want to show you, I just made big jar of fermented salsa, and whole my family, we absolutely love this salsa. I have recipe how to make this salsa, and again, I make once a year. I probably will divide in little jars in the fridge, and it will last for good amount of time, and that's how I like to eat my eggs with this salsa. I like put salsa as any Mexican dinner I have, or just really for simple eggs instead of I don't know, whatever. I just love salsa on the egg. Maybe it's salsa on something else would be good too, like Mexican dinner, which if I make sometimes, that's good way to eat more fermented food. Something with, yes, I know, fresh salsa is great, but fermented it's much better. And plus you chopped. I use food processor, I didn't chop, don't have time for that. I make one big, and it lasts for a long time. Save your time actually. I also like to ferment lemon when I squeeze lemon and if I have leftover a bunch of lemons, in Moroccan cuisines they ferment lemons, and then I use that lemon little bit chopped and add to rice or anything what I will serve with fish, and it has bright lemony flavor, and you can eat whole skin together because it ferments, bacteria eats on, and whole lemon, and then you can consume whole thing. So bacteria helps to digest this good friendly bacteria and gives healthy gut and have healthy digestion. So many people who have problems, they can digest tomato sauce or something, they have problem with acids, and they use Tom, so I don't know what else they use for some stronger medication. I know some people use to fight with heartburn, but heartburn is just symptoms that show something going wrong. So if you're not fixed, you just put in Band-Aid by taking some pill. It's not really fixing your gut, why your food ferments and not digests, and why it goes back and gives you bad reflux and cold heartburn. And some people blame food, but it's actually something wrong and you need to fix this. Fermented food, magic food, can fix and help with your immunity, helps with your bones density, helps with your estrogen for women who go through menopause. It's really kombucha can help with that, and many other things. Kvass I don't have unfortunately right now, and I'm experimenting with few different recipes, and I will publish soon. I did not make video yet, but we'd like kvass as well, beet kvass, bread kvass. My niece in Ukraine, she still make kvass, original old-fashioned recipe from rye bread. She got recipe from some monastery, from I think it's women, female monastery, and they share with her, and she's still making. So I'm excited to share with you that recipe as well. It's very cool that God creates this all tools that we can manage our health without actually using pills. It's much better for you, and also it's helps to lose weight, because if you have disconnection and something with hormones is not working right, because gut is our second brain. So if we don't have, if something missing, we'll actually I wrote some blog about that, and I will link below. If some enzyme, if you miss, you will be always feel hungry, and until you fix that, nothing going to help. I heard so often when parents who struggle with children who overweight, their strategy maybe distract from food or make food fun, eat more broccoli, make this, make that, but reality, we are what we eat. So if child has overgrowth candida, if child crave only donuts, doesn't matter how you distract and doesn't matter what you do, the child will always eat that, and child will always feel hungry and will overeat. So until you fix the problem, temporarily, yes, you can cut calories, you can calculate calories, you can put in 2 more after school activity, maybe it will help, probably not. I see many active children to sign to different karate and different other sports, and they're quite a bit overweight because that's what they eat and that's what they crave for. So it's very difficult to keep children from junk or adult and from overconsumption sugar if you don't have healthy gut. This food will help you be healthy and will help you to support you during the stress level. If you have stressful life like I do, especially now, it's helped me enormous. I would say I would not make it if I didn't eat. I don't know what would be with me if I would probably still on food med diet. And I would probably feel all those bad symptoms, bloating and indigestive and moon swim, and just mention everything I had. I was very sick. So now every time when I eat something, I always think about how to prepare right way. And I have sourdough because I always make sourdough bread sourdough pancakes, sourdough muffins, sourdough crepes, sourdough everything. Everywhere I try to put sourdough, even when I make chocolate chip, I sneak 1-2 tablespoons of sourdough. It's unfat, hungry sourdough, you see, it's not good. You can do anything. I need to feed. I forgot to feed this morning. My oldest son, that's his job actually. He didn't do his work. And so sourdough, it's my everything. So every time when we eat grains, think about how to prepare. So soaking grains, it's must, especially for grains like oats. Everyone eats oatmeal for breakfast, and most of you believe it's healthy. Yes, in moderation, of course. But if it's proper prepared, then you have absorption of all minerals and vitamins that oatmeal gives you. Plus, you're not dragging any nutrients from other foods that you eat with your oatmeal. So that's why very important to soak. Otherwise, that acid, folic acid, that in them grains can pull out everything from your bones, and that's not good. No one like to have arthritis or any other problems in the life, right? We need stronger bones. So drink kefir, soak your grains, and ferment your beans, soak your nuts. And if you don't have time cook, just buy something with easy to supplement, like this, Japanese plums. They are very easy to have on hand. You just buy it online, and Amazon has amboshi plums, and we like to snack on them just as it is. You can make in a rice bowl, you can do so many things. I'm not Japanese, I'm not do too much sometimes, but if I don't have time, just grab one. And sometimes when I ate something wrong and I feel like, oh, tomorrow morning I'll pay price for. So right before I go to bed, I have a sip of sauerkraut juice or one this plum, and I will fix. In the morning, I will be okay. That's how important. It helps with inflammation. Inflammation is a key, and we all fight with inflammation because that's beginning of all disease. It's beginning of all health problems. Inflammation, especially chronic inflammation, so many people take antibiotics after antibiotics, and we are all have health issues. That food we eat has so much preservatives and so much pesticides. So this something would help and minimize your bad stuff consumption. Helps remove heavy metals and so many other things. The health benefits enormous, and it's so safe, much safer than pickled vegetables to eat. For instance, if you not proper pickle your vegetables, who does canning? I used to do years ago. People worry about botulism and so other things when you don't pickle the right, can the right way. With ferments, you don't have that problem. You will see immediately if something goes wrong, but usually it's 99%. It's just, you'll see. It smells pickle. That's about it. It doesn't have anything. You can pickle even mushroom. You can, ferment even mushroom. You can do so many things. This is this way of cooking and preserving food, unlimited. The very last but not least, I just stopped making half a year ago. I didn't publish any recipe. I didn't say it's become new hot in fermentation world topic. It's a bacteria called Rurari or Rurari bacteria, and I make this yogurt as well. It has little bit of consistency. If this consistency bothering you, looks like grain, it's easy to use mixture, and it will be all in blender, and it will be all blend together nice and creamy like yogurt. I just add a couple of tablespoons when I make smoothie, and that bacteria is awesome. It helps grow new muscle for even older people. So I think many women around the world use this. Bacteria actually came from Sweden, and Dr. David, he, I think, brought this to America and became a thing. He wrote a book, and I read the book, and I fell in love with this product, start using, and to make that yogurt, he suggests to use inulin powder. It's a fiber. It's a soluble fiber. It helps feed bacteria, good bacteria. That's why actually with all ferments I recommend to eat soluble fiber. Yes, people afraid starch, people afraid to gain weight, but you feed good bacteria. You need to eat broccoli, you're insoluble fiber, it's fine, it's good. Broccoli is great, but you need soluble fiber to feed those little guys that keep you healthy and they can multiply. So inulin, such of in Jerusalem artichoke powder I bought, I'm using when I make smoothie or when I make this yogurt, or really any starch, any sweet potato, just everything in your diet, I would say in moderation. So eat very balanced diet. Don't try to eat just broccoli and steak. Add a little bit soluble fiber and fat. Don't forget about fat. Love fat too. So I said a lot. I hope I convinced you to drink and eat and use those little juices, little ingredients to sneak into your food, to your dressing, to your even mashed potato. The miso, I have recipe I sneak into mashed potato. You can tweak your recipes and you can add to your diet all the ferments for people even who don't like. So your, let's say, child doesn't like to eat, mix. If likes only cream cheese, mix little bit cream Fraiche into cream cheese, make spreadable, and then child will not even notice. So many ways you can add and supplement and infuse to eat more fermented food. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that was informative for you. And leave me comment and ask question. I often actually get email from my readers that asking me about ferments. So I'm looking forward to see more comments about this video. And see you next time. Bye.